Why are you looking at me like that? Fine, you want to spray too? Yeah, you cleansed. I had a viewer, I think his name is Lenny. He was asking me, how do you know that a certain card's your card? Is it because it pops up a lot, or what's the deal? So, it's pretty much known as your Significator card. And your Significator card, in this case, mine is the Queen of Cups. When I first saw the Queen of Cups, something just within me was like, I'm kind of connecting with this one. And I already went through the whole deck as such, just like going and looking at all of them like, okay. Alright. Uh-oh, death. And oh, something about this one card that can be a way to find your significator. Another way, which I kind of don't like it, is if you actually go by the book and you look at your birth date and your zodiac sign. In this case, it would actually have me be the Queen of Sass. Me already being a Libra sun, it connects with me, and I kind of agree with it. I can be a little bit of a sass monster at times. But intuitively, I'm more fit for the Queen of Cups, but also the Queen of Sass, which is funny. Both these queens oppose each other. Water and water, water and air. Wet and windy, and wet and extra wet. And they're even also facing one another. Those are like the two ways you can actually find out what your card or significator card is. And there's also another way. You'll need to get all the core cards you have. And now you're going to separate them into 4 suits. Like for example, you're going to take your youthful pages, put the swords in one way, pentacles, cups, and beating sticks. Then you grab your henchmen riding ponies and put them in order. And then you get the queens. And then you just match them with the suits yet again. And then you have His Highness, the King. And then you just match it up with the suits again. Now having all the core cards in front of you, pretty much you just look at them all. And then you just hold out your hand, as such, just right over the top. And you just move it across each row. And when your hand feels a jolt like that, I felt that one, and funny enough. When you feel something like pull you back to a card, that's the one you grab. You go through every single one of them. And then you pretty much go from there and you listen to your intuition. You pull the one that's pulling you. Side notes. Your significator card does not have to be the same body gender or like your gender identity. So if you're a male, you can be a queen and you should be one. Be a king, but be a woman. Obviously. Be a knight and be a woman or a maiden. Or better yet, you could be a crone and still ride your pony. Be an elder, but you can still be a page. It does not matter. Age doesn't matter. Gender identity doesn't matter. Youthfulness doesn't matter. And most definitely, experience doesn't matter. You choose what's pulling you. You can make that choice. But now, let's say you want to get extra fancy. It's through the major arcana. And you can go by zodiac sign if you want to, or you can just lay out all the major arcana out in front of you, and then choose the one that pulls you. Do an example for you. This way, how I'm going to do is I'm just going to look. I'm just going to plop it down when I feel it. There's one of them. And don't just, stop with one card. Just go through every single one of them. I'll do it one more time. Just to double check. Mine were Judgment, High Priestess. You can also use the major cards, or if you want to get creative, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a sneaky cheat sheet on how you can use your majors to actually analyze this possible situation that you're wanting to inquire about. taking it from the top as they come and as they go. If you're going to be using the Emperor as a significator for a situation or a person, you can actually see about someone who's in an authoritative position to see if they're using their power correctly and not being an, tyrannical twathead. Sun, you want to inquire about an incident that is a little too good to be true? Happy, you want to make sure it actually is legit before you be too glee and fall off the pony and break your neck. We have Chris Farley, the devil, inquiring about if it's time to get wild and crazy and, live life and live it hard. But, you want to make sure that you know what's really surrounding this incident so that we don't, go off a cliff. You can inquire about something that's ended to make sure it's ended for good, and you're prepared to see what comes up next. The Chariot. You can inquire about a situation that possibly is going a little too Hong Kong Phooey, a little too fast. Or you might be trying to see how come a situation isn't going, but then figure out what's making it not work, and then make it fix and go face first. The Moon. You could be inquiring about a situation that's telling you, I don't know about this. Can I get some clarity on this? Or, you might be inquiring about a situation that needs you to see with your intuition and without your eyes. The Empress. You might be trying to figure out how Mama's doing. Or you're probably thinking about something that you're trying to become manifested or birthed into reality. And you just wanted to check up to see where something is not really going as planned. The Wheel of Fortune. If you want to actually see what divinity is up to and what they're plotting, you can use this to represent them. To see, what on earth caused this thing to happen. You can use this, the Star, to see about how a wish is doing. Is it in the works? Did you wish for something incorrectly? What's going on with it? Lovers, obviously, about a love affair. Worrying about somebody who's in a higher position than you, and you're just all like, really, dude? Who's going to get the promotion, me or him? Which one is it? Come on, pigeon boy. Who's getting the job? Maybe you want to be a little bit funny with it. The Hermit. To inquire about an elder figure or somebody who is not really communicative or interacting with a lot of people and kind of secluded, just to check up on it. The Fool. To check up on an idiot, to check on a dimwit, to check up on a doofus. And also to check up someone who might be a bit too naive to make sure they haven't fallen off the cliff. Or, maybe, the dog pushed them off. It happens. I don't like this guy. To check to see if somebody who's in a standing position actually understands what their, position is. And make sure that they're really doing it for the meaning and this reasoning behind it. He who is hung most. Well, to make sure that, if someone that, or something that has been, sacrificed or left behind, to see if it was a good idea, but also to check to see if he's really hung up. Don't subscribe. But to be able to see from a different perspective. A funny fact. That little sun behind his head, that's a symbol of enlightenment. Just saying. High Priestess, to kind of get an intel on something that's not really spoken about. And also to see the real truth and not be all like, You think I don't know what's going on, kid? Judgment. Inquire about a situation that seems to be kind of coincidental and kind of a test. Asking divinity, are you plotting something? Which they probably are. Strength, to actually check somebody's ego and figure out a way to, make it stop flaming. Magician, to inquire about a spell or spellcraft that you're planning on doing to make sure it manifests properly. And also to inquire about another practitioner to see if they're not messing with you or messing with your outcome. Death, to inquire about something that has kicked the bucket. You can also use this card to be a centerpiece for interactions or communicating with passed on. Temperance, to figure out a way to take something from one state into another and figuring out the process to do it. and justice to figure out, you know, if something legally is being handled fair, or a situation that is being properly weighed and everybody gets the just desserts for it and nobody gets the BS results. There is no right or wrong way to choose one. You can do it the intuitive way. You can do it the by the book way. You can do it the major way. Or you can even, if you want to be really different, you can use any of the minors. Like, you could just use one that has one figure, like for example, the Seven of Swords. If you want to make your Significator card somebody who is sneaky McSneaky, well, aren't you just a clever little one? Use your Significator card in a way like this. Grab one that you most connect with. In this case, Queen of Cups for me. Grab a tarot deck, a different one preferably. Or another option, you can actually go on the internet, find an image of your Significator card, put it right smack dab in the middle, shuffle the deck, and then place one card on, well, above it, to the right, below it, and then to the left. So it's kind of making like the card is surrounded in the north, south, east, west. The card on the top is going to be regarding your financials and health and well-being. Well, in this example, I'll just put myself on the spot. I'm kind of in a little bit of pain physically, which is kind of accurate, but I'm still going. Not letting pain stop me. And then the one to the right is communications and interactions with other people. Four of Swords. Yeah, I'm not really being social, really. Primarily, I'm kind of like keeping to myself. That's right. The one below it is the obstacle or motivating force. The World. The motivating force is that something has ended and something new is going to begin. So I'm excited for, you know, something new to start. But also the obstacle can be possibly something has ended prematurely and I'm starting something irrationally. And then the one to the left is the emotional, cheesy, woozy, love me romance stuff. We have King of the Coins, King of Pentacles. So regarding emotions and romantic affairs, I might be having someone who is very down to earth, practical, realistic, but also very mature about spending and investing and provides security coming towards me. Or maybe this might be me taking this on and actually being an example for somebody to look up to see as a figure to give practical down-to-earth counsel. And then that's a good way you can actually do a reading on yourself with your Significator card representing you in the middle. And whatever works for you, let it work for you.